beloved child. If this message found you tonight, I want you to understand something very deeply. This is not random. Out of thousands of voices, thousands of distractions, thousands of moments scrolling endlessly through noise, your eyes stopped here because heaven allowed this message to find you. And the reason is simple. There is a silent battle happening inside your soul that almost nobody can see. You still smile, you still answer people, you still try to act normal, but deep inside, something has been growing tired. Something inside your spirit has been slowly losing strength. And the most dangerous thing is not that you cry sometimes. It is that you have started living without peace for so long that the heaviness now feels normal. My child, I do not want you to continue living this way. Do not leave yet, because what I am about to tell you may be the very thing that pulls your soul out of the darkness you have quietly been trapped in. Remember David before Goliath. People only saw a young shepherd standing before a giant, but nobody saw the hidden battles David fought in the wilderness first. Nobody saw the lonely nights. Nobody saw the fear. Nobody saw the prayers whispered under dark skies while he felt unseen. And you are not so different. People see your outside, but I see what happens inside your mind when the night becomes quiet. I see the anxiety you hide. I see the exhaustion you cannot explain. I see how hard your heart has been trying to stay strong. My precious child, perhaps you think this is only a difficult season, but I tell you the truth tonight. You are standing at the edge of a new season, and because of that, darkness has been trying to exhaust you before you step into what I prepared for you. The enemy is not afraid of you when you are weak. It fears the moment you realize I am still with you. So tonight, pause for a moment, breathe slowly, and let me speak to the deepest part of your soul, because the most dangerous thing is not always a giant storm. Sometimes it is the tiny cracks silently forming inside the heart while nobody notices. And that is exactly what I need to talk to you about next. My beloved child, let me tell you something that nobody around you fully understands. You are not simply tired. This goes deeper than physical exhaustion. Your soul has been carrying invisible weight for far too long, and lately you have started feeling it everywhere. You wake up exhausted even after sleeping. You sit in silence, yet your mind never truly rests. You try to pray, but the words no longer come as easily as they once did. Sometimes you open your Bible, then close it again without knowing why. Sometimes worship feels distant. Sometimes your spirit feels dry like a land that has not seen rain in years. And the most painful part is this: you do not even know how to explain what is happening inside you anymore. My child, Cha sees it all. I see the moments when you stare into space thinking about nothing and everything at the same time. I see the heaviness that suddenly appears at night. I see the silent anxiety hidden beneath your smile. I see how disconnected you have started feeling from yourself. And the dangerous thing is not always obvious sin. No, the dangerous thing is slow spiritual numbness, a drifting heart, a distracted soul, a flame that slowly becomes smaller while life keeps getting louder. That is how the enemy often works, not through sudden destruction, but through quiet exhaustion, little by little, thought by thought, distraction by distraction. My precious child, there are people listening tonight who still function normally on the outside, but internally they feel empty, emotionally distant, spiritually disconnected, like they are surviving life instead of truly living it. And perhaps that person is you. You laugh with others while silently breaking inside. You okay soon, but deep down, you know something inside your spirit needs healing. Remember Elijah, after calling down fire from heaven, he later sat under a tree asking to die because his soul had become exhausted. Even strong people grow weary. Even faithful hearts can become overwhelmed. And Cha does not shame you for that. I do not condemn your exhaustion. I want to heal it. Because, my child, the fact that you still long for peace means your soul has not died. The fact that this message touches your heart means heaven is still calling you closer. And tonight, before your soul drifts even further into numbness, I need you to understand why this has been happening, because the greatest spiritual attacks rarely begin with giant disasters. They begin with tiny cracks nobody notices at first, and that is what we must talk about next. My beloved child, listen carefully. The enemy rarely destroys a soul all at once. That is not how darkness usually works. It begins quietly, almost invisibly. A small compromise here, a distracted mind there, a little less prayer, a little more noise, a little less time in my presence, a little more attachment to things that slowly drain your spirit. And over time, tiny cracks begin forming inside the soul. That is why I tell you tonight, the most dangerous thing is not always the giant storm. Sometimes it is the small leak nobody notices until the entire house is filled with water. My child, some of the things exhausting your spirit right now may seem harmless on the surface. The endless scrolling, the constant noise, the voices you listen to every day, the thoughts you repeatedly agree with, the habits that slowly disconnected your heart from peace. Darkness often enters quietly through what feels small. That is why spiritual exhaustion can happen without people realizing it. Remember Samson, he did not lose his strength in a single moment. It happened slowly, through repeated compromise. Remember Samuel as a child. He learned to recognize my voice because he stayed close and listened carefully in silence. But this generation is surrounded by endless noise. So many souls can no longer hear my whisper clearly, and that breaks my heart because, my child, I still speak, I still warn, I still call people back before their souls drift too far into emptiness. Remember Elijah, after victory came isolation, after fire came exhaustion, after miracles came emotional collapse. Even mighty prophets became vulnerable when their souls grew tired. That is why I keep telling you, do not ignore your spiritual condition. Cha does not want you merely functioning. I want you alive again, burning again, breathing deeply again. The enemy cannot steal your destiny immediately, so it tries to exhaust your spirit slowly to make you lose passion, lose hunger, lose clarity, lose intimacy with me, and eventually lose hope. But my beloved child, hope is exactly what I am restoring tonight, because I know something you cannot fully see yet. The reason the battle intensified is because you are closer to breakthrough than you realize. Moses faced resistance before freedom came. Joseph faced betrayal before elevation came. David faced giants before the throne came. And you are standing closer to a new season than your fear wants you to believe. That is why your soul has felt attacked lately, because darkness trembles when a weary child of God starts waking up again. So tonight, do not ignore the tiny cracks anymore. Do not ignore the exhaustion. Do not ignore the numbness. Bring it all into my light, because light heals what darkness tries to hide. And in the next part, I want to show you how restoration truly begins, not through striving, not through pretending to be strong, but through surrender. My beloved child, come closer now. Do not run from my voice. Do not hide behind your exhaustion anymore. You do not have to pretend to be strong in front of me. You do not have to hold yourself together every second, because Cha already sees the places inside you that are falling apart. And still, I love you completely, my child. Restoration does not begin when you become perfect. It begins the moment you finally surrender, the moment you stop saying, I can fix myself alone, the moment you stop hiding wounds behind distractions, the moment you stop pretending your soul is fine when it is silently starving for peace. That is where healing begins, not in performance, not in religious perfection, but in honest surrender. Remember the prodigal son. He returned broken, tired, ashamed, empty, and before he could even explain himself, his father ran toward him. That is my heart toward you tonight. I am not waiting to reject you. I am waiting to restore you, my precious child. You have spent too much time trying to survive without drinking from the living water I prepared for your soul, and now your spirit feels dry, heavy, cracked like desert ground longing for rain. But listen carefully. I am still the river that never runs dry. I am still the vine that brings life back into dead branches. I am still the fire that can awaken what almost went cold inside you. So stop believing the lie that it is too late for your healing. It is not too late, not for your heart, not for your mind, not for your future. There is still oil for your lamp. There is still breath for your weary spirit. There is still light waiting inside the ashes. And tonight, I want you to lay everything down before me. The fear, the disappointment, the secret battles, the emotional exhaustion nobody knows about. Lay it all down, because Cha never asked you to carry the weight of the world alone. My child, some of you listening tonight feel spiritually disconnected because you have been trying to fight battles without resting in my presence. You have been trying to survive through human strength alone, but branches separated from the vine slowly lose life, and that is why your soul has felt so drained. Come back to the source, come back to the quiet place, come back to prayer, come back to stillness, come back to my voice, not because I want to control you, but because I want to heal you. The enemy wants your soul exhausted, but I want your soul restored. The enemy wants you numb, but I want you alive again, burning again, breathing again, dreaming again. And my beloved child, when restoration begins inside you, everything around you will slowly begin changing too, because healed souls carry different light, different peace, different strength. And what I am doing in your life right now will not stop with you alone, because your healing is connected to a greater purpose you have not fully understood yet. And that is what I need to reveal next. My beloved child, there is something you must understand tonight. Your healing is not meaningless. Your pain was never wasted, and the battles you survived were not only about survival. Cha is preparing you for something greater, because one day, the comfort I give you in secret will become comfort you pour into others. The peace I restore inside your spirit will become peace you carry into broken places, and the tears you cried in silence will one day help another wounded soul believe they can survive too. My child, Joseph did not understand why he was betrayed by his own brothers. He did not understand the prison. He did not understand the waiting, but later he realized every painful season had been shaping him to save lives. David's wilderness prepared him for kingship. Moses' isolation prepared him to lead nations. Even the deepest valleys became classrooms where heaven formed their character, and you are no different. The enemy wanted your pain to destroy you, but Cha will use it to awaken compassion inside you, wisdom, discernment, mercy, spiritual authority, because people who have truly suffered often recognize hidden pain in others faster than anyone else. My beloved child, there are people your voice will reach one day because of what you survived. There are hearts your prayers will strengthen. There are weary souls your testimony will awaken. You think your story is only about you, but heaven sees generations connected to your obedience. That is why darkness fought so hard against your peace, not because you are worthless, but because your life carries influence you cannot yet fully see. Listen carefully. You are not called merely to exist. You are called to become light, a bridge for hurting people, a voice of encouragement, a prayer warrior, a reminder that heaven still speaks, and perhaps that calling begins very simply, with kindness, with prayer, with staying faithful in quiet places, with refusing to let bitterness harden your heart, because healed people heal people, restored people restore people, awakened people awaken people. My child, the world is full of exhausted souls silently searching for hope, and one day, without even realizing it, your words, your compassion, your testimony, your survival will become evidence that I never abandoned. My children, you will become a trumpet waking sleeping hearts, a lamp in dark places, a reflection of my love in a generation drowning in noise and confusion. But before that season fully arrives, you must keep walking with me, not perfectly, not fearlessly, but faithfully, step by step, day by day, because the same God who carried Joseph through prison, the same God who strengthened David in caves, the same God who spoke to Moses in the wilderness, is still holding your life tonight. And my precious child, the next thing I want to do is pray over your heart directly, not a rushed prayer, not empty words, but a deep prayer for healing, restoration, protection, and peace over your soul, because tonight something inside you is already beginning to change. My beloved child, before this message ends, I want you to pause one more time. Take a deep breath and let your soul become still, because tonight was not an accident. Heaven allowed this message to reach you for a reason, not to shame you, not to condemn you, but to remind you that you are still seen, still loved, still carried, even in the middle of your exhaustion. My child, the storm did not come to destroy you. The darkness did not get the final word over your life, and the enemy cannot erase the purpose I placed inside you before you were even born. So tonight, I want to pray over you deeply, personally, tenderly. My precious child, may peace begin flowing back into every exhausted place inside your soul. May the anxiety that has been haunting your mind begin losing its grip. May the heaviness you carried in silence finally start lifting. May every hidden wound receive healing. May every fearful thought be replaced with hope. May every dark room inside your heart be filled again with light. Father, touch the person listening right now, the one crying quietly, the one feeling emotionally drained, the one who almost gave up internally. Wrap them in your presence tonight. Let them feel safe again. Let them sleep peacefully again. Let them breathe deeply again. Restore what stress destroyed. Restore what disappointment weakened. Restore what fear tried to silence. And Lord, where their soul became dry, pour living water again. Where their spirit became cold, ignite holy fire again. Where their heart became tired, release supernatural rest again. My beloved child, you are not forgotten, you are not abandoned, you are not
not fighting alone. The same God who protected David, guided Joseph, strengthened Moses, and restored Elijah is still walking beside you tonight, even now, especially now. So do not fear the future the way you once did, because there is still hope ahead of you. There is still healing ahead of you. There is still purpose ahead of you. And one day you will look back at this painful season and realize John never left your side for even one moment. My precious child, if this message touched your heart tonight, write amen in the comments. And if these messages bring peace to your spirit, subscribe and stay connected for more nightly words of healing, restoration, and encouragement, because there are many weary souls in this world, and perhaps through your sharing, another broken heart will also find hope tonight. May peace cover your mind. May heaven guard your heart. May light surround your home. And may your soul finally rest knowing this truth.